Dot Hack is not a game I know. Not sure if I'll like this music. Not sure if this music will be interesting to me. Okay, I like it. We've got this like vocal soprano. So you hear how in the vocalism, even in the first 3 seconds, you have this wonderful intensity, but it's actually like this weird longing quality because of the way that it scales upward. It has a painful quality attached to it. So it'll start low, da 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 da, where we resolve back down to the original note. That's an interesting dissonance. Standard art song procedure is usually one of a couple things. Generally, it's almost always piano. And so in this case, we have a marimba or a vibraphone or something that's doing this boop, 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 this ostinato underneath. It's an odd and difficult thing when you're singing, because when you're singing a piece like this, you have to clue into what the instrumentalist is doing, because the accompanist has to be following you, but sometimes you don't always get lucky with an accompanist that actually knows how to follow. And so then you have to deal with that in one ear. The other ear, you have to make sure that what you're doing is correct. You have to take your breaths. You have to, sing your high notes. The problem is sometimes when we sing our high notes, we don't always hear what's going on. And so actually sometimes what occurs is that you get off because you can't track where you are and where the accompanist is. And in a piece like this, that percussion instrument, that mallet instrument, would be very hard to follow depending on where it is positioned on stage. Certainly if it's behind you, you'll never hear it. If it's in front of you or right next to you, there's more likely that you're going to, but it's all about positioning. And so this is actually really a beautifully symbiotic, and I can't wait to hear it. But also, do you hear the odd dissonance that occurred there? And then it joined in, but there was a little while there where it was actually in complete contrast tonally to what the soprano was singing. Oh no, that's a man's voice. That's supposed to be another person's voice, which is obviously MIDI. So that has a real quality of like, they're not together. They're not on the same playing field. There's a disconnect there. Such an ethereal and powerful piece of music, and then you have this beautiful quartet of men underneath that are elevating this and actually giving us a lot of body and helping the soprano soloist to be elevated into singing. I wanted to swell. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to go into a more climactic section, and I don't think it's going to. And that's not necessarily a problem. It's just a little bit like, come on, go, like, and maybe we still got another minute here. Maybe we'll expand. But what's really curious to me is just how powerful and ethereal this feels. And it really feels like contemplating like life's existence and why we're here and what the purpose of our lives is. There's a real ascension feeling as we're going up into the stratosphere. And I love that, again, it's always the soprano. I think it makes sense because the men tend to blend in with the other instruments here. And you hear that. I actually thought that that was an instrument. But the soprano is really taking front and center, really launching off. It's such a powerfully warm sound quality, even though it's in the upper register. It is interesting too that as the song fades out, so does her voice. Aura 1, I assume there's it's Aura's theme. There's a pullback here where we lose her, and then the last 25 seconds or so is just these men sort of interesting thing, because it makes me feel like something has happened in this character, and there's obviously a lot of grief and remorse and sadness in this theme, and it really comes across. I have to say, it's been really nice to have shifted away from this sort of MIDI sound. I really am happy that we live in a time period where we're getting singers, and I believe that Aura's singer was a real singer, but I love that we're in a period of time where singing is emphasized, and we're using, even if we're using synthesized sound quality, it still does sound much more like a singer than this, where I thought that was like some sort of instrument. It's nice to go back and listen to something, but I'm also grateful that we're now in a 2023 world where we're using, real singers for the most part, or at least synthesizers that have very good quality to them. Really nice piece, really beautiful piece. If you like this sort of stuff, there's lots more on the channel. Feel free to check it out. Like, subscribe, join the Discord, check out my gameplay on twitch.tv or Marco Meatball VODs, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.